I was up in Temple the other day at a candidate forum that was being hosted by Linda and her team, some wonderful patriots there in Bell County, Texas. And each of the candidates that were running had an opportunity to speak. Now, the federal candidates running for the United States Congress were given 8 minutes to speak, which, if you've ever been in one of these, 8 minutes is an incredibly generous amount of time. And so when I went up there to speak, they had provided us with some questions, just questions that they had compiled prior to the forum. And part of our response should have incorporated answers to these questions. But I got up there and started to work, and speak my mind, speak from the heart, tell folks who I am and how I feel and how I would represent them in Washington. And man, we just got rolling. The crowd was saying, hell yes, amen, right on. And we were just having a really good time. And time expired. And in fairness to everybody else, when time's up, time's up. And so I promised the folks afterwards, hey, I'll answer your questions. So that's what I'm going to do here this morning. First question, in your view, what are the top 3 threats to the U.S. constitutional republic? That's easy. Self-serving career politicians in Congress, a weaponized DOJ and FBI, and illegal immigration are what I believe to be the top 3 threats to America today. The second question, how has the Freedom Caucus helped or hurt government? Now, I love this question. This question is kind of a clever way to see if their candidates have guts and will take a stand on principle. So, Freedom Caucus, help or hurt? America First, Make America Great Again candidates might answer that the Freedom Caucus casting a light on the dysfunction of Congress is helpful. Now, the Uniparty establishment rhino types might answer that question. The Freedom Caucus has hurt government because they cast a light on the dysfunction of Congress. Okay, here's where I am. If I'm sent to Washington to represent the people of my district here in Central Texas, I will not show up looking to join a club or kiss somebody's ring or kiss somebody else's ass. I will be there to represent the citizens of Central Texas. It's just that simple. All right, then the final question. As a member of the House of Representatives, what would your role be in impeachment? All right, Constitution. The House's role in impeachment is to gather and consider the facts. Have they reached a level, treason, bribery, high crimes, and misdemeanor? It's an employment question. In fact, the Constitution prohibits it from being used in criminal proceedings. If it goes to that, then the prosecutor's got to dig up their own stuff. So it's an employment decision. And if the preponderance of the evidence, since it's not a criminal case, it's a civil standard, preponderance of the evidence is that this individual did in fact meet the threshold to be disqualified from office. Now, the House doesn't make that decision. That's the Senate that does that. The House refers the matter to the Senate and presents the evidence they have gathered, and then it's up to the Senate to decide whether to keep or boot out. Now, a little note of history. Thomas Jefferson, guy that wrote the Declaration of Independence, did in fact face an impeachment vote because there was some guy in Congress that just didn't like him. And the vote was 1 to everybody else to keep Jefferson. And Jefferson wrote about the farce nature of the impeachment process of the Constitution. There have only been 8 officials removed in the whole history of the country through impeachment. All 8 of them were federal district judges who did things from being drunk on the bench while hearing a case to taking bribes. But only 8 in the whole 250 years almost have been removed by impeachment.